After the anguish that is understanding the overdrive and how to spam Ghostwalker 101, you finally beat the game. Roll the credits on Luxaar's goons, the Ganglions are dead, Void bites the dust. Who cares about the remaining hexagons on the map and a Fateful Choice's good ending? Just turn in the quest. That stupid Orphean got what she deserved. I already had my fun. Why the fuck would I continue? Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has the most ingeniously designed postgame ever made. Don't get me wrong, I like Bravely Default 2 Superbosses a lot. In fact, these challenges just might be the highest enjoyment a turn-based JRPG can squeeze out of its pixels. Layers and layers of strategy stacked on top. And sure, Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 all have super bosses, but I don't care about them. After defeating Zanza, Malus, and Zed respectively, the trilogy is, at least in my estimations, is shelved. Done. The story and characters are why I play these games. As a veteran of the series, I already rolled my fair share of blades in Xenoblade 2 and created a kick-ass smash soul hacker build in Xenoblade 3, all on a blind and hard difficulty first playthrough. I am no casual, but by the end of these games I completely run out of steam. Not because I'm scared of the challenge. The trilogy combat, while accommodating for skill expression, is also limited and slow. Chain attacks in Xenoblade 3 take forever to execute, and orb smashing in 2 gets boring fast. Xenoblade 1 is fun, but it is also the most bare bones and repetitive variation, being the OG that started it all. Both Xenoblade 2 and 3 eventually hit a player expression ceiling. A ceiling that Xenoblade X completely breaks. And the funny thing is, I won't even push this angle. Frankly, I don't think I need a bigger gun. X's post-game isn't the most compelling and ingenious because of the build flexibility, which we talked about in this video. The post-game hooks you with storytelling. As Antonum has been looking for us staring at a fucking tree, we realized that an anomaly of sorts had been plaguing the Orphean population for a while. The division of one Orphean started an infectious mutation, as if the morphogenetic field around the ova kicked into high gear. The beta phenotype, the beta forms as they're called, the female Orpheans took the stage. All of them soaked in the color red, they have a greater attunement to emotional expression, articulation, and curiosity, pushing the boundaries of what it means to be an Orphean. And maybe that's why the anima wants the animus to shut off their ovas, the internal voice that guides each and every one of them. The ego, one's sense of self, at least in their estimations, is leading Orpheus astray. The truth is living by your own free will like humans, in surrender to something greater. An anti-ova revolution. Runtonam departed for Noctulum in search of freedom from the limited identity. She meets the ruler of fates. Beneath a fierce exterior poised to devour all it sees, Telethia hides a spark of intelligence. Beneath its overwhelming presence, there's a faint sense of nostalgia, something primal, not unlike the gods and devils that we humans worship. Ova wants you to run away from the truth, knowing the danger is lurking behind the call to action, so that the hero never takes that first step. But the wrinkle here is that this is no Buddhism. The ego death in question isn't spiritual, but physical. It's literal. As Runtanam approached, she is devoured between her sharp teeth and intermittent growls. Somehow, Telethia's beauty still shines through the violence. But the fight, it's completely unwinnable. This is what I call the bait of the postgame, pitting you up against the ruler of fates you're doomed to fail. Multiple phases, invincibility, tail swipes designed to topple lock you, and as a response you do the Ghost Walker, the Ares 90 cheese, reflect spam, she doesn't care, none of it works. Not for long anyways, you will die one way or another. In the final 30% of her health, she will fly again with Soul Read, a technique that creates countless decoys and invincibility checks before you can land a single hit. This Telethia is fucking with you. The spike damage in its second phase is brutal for the uninitiated, wasting 2 of your armor slots on anti-spike gems. And you better have Ether Nullify Reflect on your skill or you will die in 10 seconds anyways. Telethia the Endbringer is a series of knowledge and skill checks, and the developers know it. That's why you're allowed to just say fuck it and tell Antonom that your girlfriend is dead. Now I know, you want to give him her right arm, but ain't nobody got time for that. This tyrant is too hard. It is for those no-life gamers. Right? Well, not so fast. Think about it. No one would fight this Telethia without a reason. In fact, why fight a tyrant in the first place? Flying over Noctilum, the sheer scale itself is terrifying. How little damage you inflict is terrifying. But Runtanam died. It can't be for nothing. Furthermore, this is the last quest of the game. I need to finish this. I learned about Reflect, tried a few different builds to increase my damage output to erase the final 30% in a single hit. But I can't do it, so I need to get stronger now. We will have to start this entire process all over again for each and every single of these super bosses. But wait, no. Supposedly, the second hardest tyrant in the game, this queen, is much easier. This is actually doable. I don't have to deal with parkour or scale-to-ground combat switch, insane decoy tricks, long endurance, or one-shot KO tricks. Pharsis is hard, but if I play my cards right, I can defeat her on the orb, in fact. And that confidence is what the Fateful Choice quest is designed to instill, giving you a taste of the most complicated challenge first so that everything else feels easier. All the mechanics and everything I've learned to understand the Telethia is now my greatest weapon against Pharsis. And it's the same with Nardacyon the Shadowless, supposedly the third hardest tyrant in the game, an unprecedented level of elemental damage variety and output, not only forcing you to go through a 2-minute prep phase each time you die, killing this stupid hare with a virus debuff, but you need to also cover lightning, thermal, and elemental beam resistances. Not only you're wasting armor slots to just stay in the fight, but now your damage is significantly reduced because you cannot equip potential up gems. Unless you're using a sniper like me, shooting from afar, circumventing the big area of effect attacks, while your teammates distract them on their scales. In certain ways, this is harder than both Pharsis and Telethia in the sense that it forces a level of execution, especially if you're not using Core Crush or Reflect, that you don't really have to do normally. But those are just the big 3 that opened up how to play the game. I have killed countless different super bosses after those, with variety of builds, not just a single one. I understood the value of resistances, positioning, even having skills for distraction while you prepare your max overdrive buffs. Every single super boss after my failed Telethia attempt, like the infamous Lugal Banda, which is an important win for the Ether Longsword drop, our main source of damage against the Telethia, and even Luciel the Eternal teaching me how important precise execution can be in a short time frame for a glass cannon build. Gradivus with its 10 million HP, and even non-super bosses teaching me so much about the mechanics of the game. I'm at a point where I think I can do this. Time to finally avenge that stupid Orpheon. The fight is no longer impossible. The decoys fall, the spikes are neutralized, the soul reed breaks. Her health, once an unscalable wall, collapses under precise execution. For a moment, there is no music, no triumph, no relief. Only silence. Runtonam is still dead. The world did not change, the Animus still fears the Animus, the Ova still whispers. And the thing I just killed was never a monster. It was a consequence. I thought this was revenge, but revenge implies justice. Xenoblade Chronicles X gives you something far colder than justice. Telethia, flying up in the sky, wasn't guarding a treasure. She wasn't hiding a secret ending. She was guarding a truth. A challenge that feels impossible on the surface, but as you glimpse the layers underneath, to enjoy the process of learning, the effort to reach the core. That was what I was missing. That was what I should have done. And somehow that realization felt worse than losing, and better than winning at the same time. The final Superboss wasn't Telethia the Endbringer. It was the moment that I realized how I was never the chosen hero bestowed with a divine power. I was just a guy.